If I offered you $20,000 to accept a government job, would you do it? What about $30,000? You probably wouldn't accept it. Obviously, it depends on the job, but I'm talking about the Department of Homeland Security, and the job is for a Border Patrol agent. Why don't people want this job? We're going to get into that, but first you should know, the Border Patrol has failed to reach its hiring goals from 2021 to 2024. The Border Patrol usually has around 20,000 employees, but they need more. About 5 or 6 years ago, there was a $300 million contract to hire over 7,000 agents. The end result was they hired 15. That's a huge amount of money. Taxpayer money. The federal government spent on a consulting company to figure out its recruiting problem, and it didn't work. We can all agree the government did not get its value from this contract. Check this chart out. We can see the staffing target for this year. It was around 22,000 agents. And then we see the sad reality, which is the staffing level of under 19,000 agents this year. Also, if you check out the best places to work rankings, the Customs and Border Protection Agency, it's all the way at the bottom. It's number 432 out of 459 sub-agencies. One area that this agency is doing a pretty good job in is hosting hiring events, because pretty much every single week, DHS has a hiring event trying to get people into this agency. And if you're not getting this information, that means you're not signed up to the free newsletter. I push out virtual hiring events every single Thursday. So if you want me to send it to you, sign up down below. Not only do they do virtual hiring events, DHS has really been stepping up the effort to do in-person hiring events. This chart shows you just how much effort has gone into in-person hiring events. It has more than doubled the number of events from last year. So let's focus on the main reasons people are not getting hired into this agency. First, it takes too long to get hired. The average time to get hired in the CBP is over 200 days, or over 7 months. That's how long from when a person applies to when they get their job offer and they can actually start their job. This is a little bit excessive even by government standards. This year alone, the average time to hire was only 100 days. I say that only because it's the public sector. In the private sector, you can get it in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you get your job offer. That's not happening in the federal government. But if you compare a normal, regular federal agency, CBP is taking way too long. Another issue is that applicants are failing their polygraph test. A polygraph test is basically a lie detector test, and right now we have 40% of people failing that. Now, this is a lot better than if you look back in 2022. Back then, 70% were failing the polygraph test. So what's the deal with that? The polygraph test is covering basically only counterintelligence. They're going to cover some illegal drugs and maybe serious crime issues. Now, one of the reasons it has improved is they shifted the marijuana question. It used to be, did you do marijuana in the past 24 months? And now they're asking, did you do marijuana in the past 90 days? So that has been tripping people up less these days. The next reason is that people are just not interested in law enforcement. Being in a law enforcement position, it comes with additional risk. You're exposing yourself to a lot more risk. Now, it comes with its benefits as well. The pension is typically higher. You can retire earlier. I get asked sometimes, like, you were in the military for 20 years. Why didn't you go into law enforcement? And my response is often, I didn't want to have to carry a weapon anymore. I don't want it to be part of my job to have a weapon because that puts me at more risk. So I think it appeals more to the younger demographic and also the military community. This chart shows us that from 2018, the level of applicants has steadily decreased. Aside from 2023 and 2024, it looks to be going down as well. For many people that don't know anything about it, immediately they're thinking, well, work-life balance is probably not going to be there. It's probably going to be in a stressful environment. I'm probably not going to be able to be there for my family when they need me. So how do you counteract this idea? Well, you got to advertise, right? You got to spend money on advertisements. Well, that's the next problem, failed advertising. To staff a hard-to-fill position, you need awareness. People need to be aware that the position exists. You do that through commercials. You do it through ads on social media. You would think as much as I input DHS, Border Patrol, I've done it dozens, if not 100 times already. I'm never advertised to. They don't advertise to me. And this doesn't make sense because the government has spent over $40 million on advertising. The report mentions that ads are specifically supposed to be running on video streaming services, social media sites, and radio. Radio? I don't know if that's the best investment. When's the last time you turned on the radio or you were listening to the radio and you say, wow, that's such an amazing product. Let me stop what I'm doing and go ahead and order that. Most people I know don't even listen to the radio. And if they did, they would probably turn the station once the ads come on. So do you have any interest in being a Border Patrol agent? If the answer is yes, you can go to one of the hiring events or you can check out the positions they have on usajobs.gov. Type in Border Patrol agent in the key box and click search. This first job announcement is for a Border Patrol agent and it shows you the bonus amount in the title. The recruitment incentive is explained in the summary section as soon as you open the job announcement. It says you're going to get your first $10,000 when you pass the academy. The academy is in New Mexico. After that, the next $10K will be given to you once you complete 3 years of service. But there's another $10K recruitment incentive if you're willing to go to hard-to-fill locations, which are located mainly in small Texas towns. There's one in New Mexico here, and there's one in Arizona. So that's a total of an extra $30,000 in recruitment incentives for Border Patrol agents. But it doesn't stop there, because they're also willing to increase your base salary by 25%, simply because this is a Border Patrol position. This right here is the pay progression chart, and if you look at the GS-12 grade, it can pay up to $138,000 a year. GS-12s do not usually earn this much. Not even in Washington, D.C. do they earn $138,000. They're earning this much because of the additional money put on top of your base salary. But unlike other positions, most federal government positions, you're doing a basic background check. They're going to maybe run your credit. You do your fingerprints, take a picture, and then you're off to the races. You can go ahead and start your job. This one has so many hurdles. You have the academy. You have the drug test. You have the polygraph. So it's longer and it's more complex. And these are some of the issues why people are not gravitating towards it. Also, like we talked about earlier, because this is a federal law enforcement position, you get a bigger pension faster. So the factor you calculate your pension by is 1.7 instead of 1 or 1.1. To give you a quick idea on how that would look like, if you took a regular federal employee in a regular federal government job, let's say their high 3 salary is $100,000 a year, you multiply that by 20 years. What is their pension? Their pension is $22,000 a year. Same situation, but now they're a law enforcement officer, like a Border Patrol agent. $100,000, 20 years, but instead of $22,000, they're going to be earning $34,000 a year in their pension. That's how big the difference can be. If you are interested in a federal government job, but Border Patrol isn't it, law enforcement just isn't it. If you're new to looking at different government jobs, you probably have a lot of questions on your mind about the federal hiring process, about the different hiring paths, the benefits. I did a live stream recently, answered over a dozen questions. A lot of these questions, they could be on your mind. If you're interested in that, I want you to check this video out next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.